Back to my channel. And I recently started watching videos of Lexi Rivera and Brent Rivera. They're amazing, so you should also watch it. Now starting up with chapter 68, Steamed Up. Let's see. The ride to the cabin was crowded. Mr. and Mrs. Jennings drove up in their car, leaving the rest of us to squeeze into my dance. But when we finally arrived, wow. Oh my god. Question: does it still count as a cabin if it has more than one floor? Pretty sure that's just called a house. I live in a house, and let me tell ya, one of these things is not like the other. Come on, you guys, it's not that big of deal. Ahead of us, our parents strolled up the path to the front door, taking in the scenery. Wow, Jim, this is definitely an upgrade from the old rental property. Is it a timeshare? Something like that. Best decision we ever made though. So nice to be away from the hustle and bustle. Just wait until you see the veranda in the back. It's stunning. As they wandered into the house, the five of us stayed behind to unload the car and carry in the luggage. But as Mason heaved the bags out of the trunk, the rest of us couldn't help but stand around the out truck. An outdoor fireplace, swanky. Mason, you having your own winter cabin is already wild, but one like this, absolutely madness. Can we save the amazement for later? I could use a little help there. I tore my eyes away from the view and watched the frustration set in Mason's face before crunching through the snow to lend a hand. Mason, it's just a big change. We didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. We'll stop. Scout's honor. I stared pointedly at Ava and Mac until one after the other they gave up their admiring and joined us in the unloading truck. Fine, but while we are here, I want the full experience. If I am this close to the lap of luxury, I might as well sit in it. I promise. You'll all get a tour and fun run of the place. But first, let's get these inside and get something to eat. I'm starving. The inside of the house was even more extravagant. Decadent food paneling lined the walls, and the immaculate furniture looked like something out of a magazine. I tried to pull it out of my mind, and I sat down for brunch, but found myself self consciously sliding my elbows off the table and hoping I wouldn't use the wrong fork. What a beautiful room! Across from me, Ava settled in gracefully, and I couldn't help but admire how she matched the elegance of her surroundings. She looks nice. As she draped a cloth napkin over her lap with a flourish, Principal Jennings met her with an easy smile. The wood is American cedar, very high in demand. It really gives the air an expensive scent. It's very nice, Jim. You can really breathe in it or choke on it. Jennings shot now a look of disdain, and as I turned away to hide a grin, I caught sight of Mason in the seat next to mine. He also looks good, nice. He gave my hand a squeeze, and I watched Principal Jennings' face clouded over. I expected him to comment, but instead, he simply lifted a bottle of champagne from a fancy ice bucket. Mrs. Jennings clapped her hand in excitement. Oh, Jim, you got the kind I love. It's so hard to get back in Eastbridge. Principal Jennings looked directly at me as he popped the cork, his eyes hardening as they met mine. Oh, only the best for for my family. And he was right. From the start of the trip, he had been making his message clear. To be a Jennings was to have the best of everything: the best car, the best vacations, the best drink, and the best company, which he clearly didn't think was me or no. I was tired of him making us feel less than, and in that moment I wanted to get even, starting with that champagne. Why is it so hard to get? Hefty price tag. Eastbridge isn't classy enough. Not enough American sedan laying around. Jennings grit his teeth, but my gaze never wavered from his. Quickly, Mrs. Jennings jumped in. Oh, nothing like that. We love Eastbridge. It's our home. It's just not the kind of thing you had pick up at the supermarket. It's for special occasions. But the best things in life are better shared, aren't they? If it's so great, maybe we should try some too. I mean, if it's an option. It isn't. In the eyes of the law, you are still children, and I won't allow that type of depravity in my house. Besides, Things of this caliber require a finely tuned palate. Better stick to the sparkling grape juice you're used to. Just seems a little unfair to the flaunt in front of us like this. Life isn't fair. If I were you, I had get used to it. But Addy, let's remember to be thankful for what we have. We can't always get everything we want. Jennings stared at me for another moment before a smirk crossed his face. And as he poured himself a glass, he finally broke eye contact. Relax, Dave. This isn't really about the champagne. Addy is just lashing out. I can't be comfortable. It can't be comfortable sitting across from Mason's ex-girlfriend when she's got feelings for himself. Ava coughed into her hand, and my mouth fell open in shock. Dad, she's probably worried sick. Ava might finally take him back. Principal Jennings, if you think that, you don't know Ava at all. Mason's a person, not a pawn. You'd like that, wouldn't you? I glanced across the table, and Ava's eye met mine, a small smile tugging at the corner of her lips. You will be out of your own soon, Miss Price. It's time you learned that in the real world, like pairs with like. Now hold on there, Jim. Actually, Dr. Price, Principal Jennings, before this gets out of hand, I think you should know I am already in a relationship. Silence flooded the room, and the rest of us looked on awkwardly as the two of them processed the information. Dad clapped his hand together. Well then, sounds like the kids have already worked this out for themselves. Problem solved. Hardly. Ava, it doesn't surprise me you have moved on. After all, my son was a fool for trying to have his cake and eat it too. But a lot can happen in a week. Before anyone could say anything else, the chef swept in a fist, and the conversation was replaced with the sound of forks scraping plates. But as I looked around at No, Mason, and Ava, it was clear we had already lost appetites. Oh, this was sad. After the brunch debacle, Mac headed to her room, and Ava, Mason, No, and I took a tour of the house, desperate to avoid our parents. As afternoon turned to evening, we bounced from room to room until finally Mason led us down a set of hidden stairs. This is last stop's my favorite. We should have this place to ourselves for a while. Where are we? Dad calls it his man cave. He designed the place from top to bottom, but I don't think I have ever seen him down here. Still, this place is pretty sick. Pool table, big screen TV. Looks like being related to Saturn is finally paying off. Well, there are some perks. Mason strode over to the pool table and reached into one of the pockets to reveal. Is that the fancy champagne? I asked Chef Reed to add it to the shopping list when she went out today. She was a little confused about all the secrecy, but stuck to the bottle was a sticky note with a quick scrawl on the side. I pulled it off to read the message. Mason, here's the champagne. May it cure what ails you. Mon petit chow. Signed, Chef Veronique. Dad was out of line for the way he talked to you guys earlier. So I thought we had take this, sneak out to the hot tub and get a little justice. Chef Ver may be cool with it, but this is in the south of France. What if we get caught? Yeah, cause we all know who they'll be blame if we do. Why do you think this tour took so long? After the day we had, they're all fast asleep. Trust me, no one will suspect a thing. We all looked around at each other, daring someone to make the first move. I guess there's nothing wrong with a little payback, right, Addy? Let's pop some bottles. We shouldn't. Sorry. As much as I would love to pull one over on your dad, it's too big a risk. And if we are gonna hit the slopes bright and early tomorrow, champagne probably isn't gonna help. Fair enough, we could always hang here. As Mason took the barrel out of the sight, Nor grabbed a cue stick, chalking the tip with skilled fingers. In meantime, I say, we rank them losers by the first round of cocoa. Well, we are certainly enjoying now. Later, the four of us snuck through the cabin, quietly, splitting off to head to our rooms for the night. When Mason had announced the room assignments earlier, Ava had seemed calm, cool, and collected. But as we walked down the hall together, she wrapped her arms around Lisa. And when we stopped outside the door, neither of us made a move to go in. Maybe we should set some ground rules here. Like what? Her eyes flashed to my lips for a second before she took a deep breath and plastered a smile on her face. You know what? We'll figure it out as we go. I'm sure everything will be fine. She opened the door and we took in the extravagant splendor of the bedroom. Its tufted headboard, the dangling chandelier. There was only one minor detail no one had mentioned. Oh, oh no. Of course, there was only one bed. Uh oh. But that should not be a problem, I guess. So, this was all for chapter 68, and I hope you like chapter 70 and 69 as well. I will try to record them together in the video, but I can't promise anything. So, this was all it for today's video, and I hope you like it. Bye bye till then. Thank you for watching it with me till end. Bye bye.